You can't go to high school before, you've completed elementary unless you're a prodigy or something, right?
Right, right. Yeah.
And repairing your relationship with food is like a prerequisite for fat loss too, right? For long-term fat
Yeah.
loss. So it's a 101 class. You try to take the 301 class before taking the 101 class, and you're going to bomb
hmm
out because you don't know anything.
And then you keep failing, and then you keep staying back a grade until you get it right.
Keep trying to take that 301 class without learning the basics shit.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And because it's boring, you don't want to stick through it. But that's the only way you're going to succeed. You just keep doing it over and over till you get it right.
Welcome to Cut the Crap with Beth and Matt, the world's #1 no bullshit health and fitness podcast.
Are you ready to cut the crap with your diet and exercise, get strong as fuck, and build a healthy relationship with food? Then you've come to the right place.
Let's go. If you'd like to support us in the podcast, join our Patreon where you get exclusive content, which consists of monthly workouts you can do at home or at the gym, monthly challenges that are either strength, habit, or mindset based, and access to over 100 plus low-calorie, high-protein, family-friendly meals. These are all designed by a professional chef who is certified in nutrition. These recipes are already in MyFitnessPal for easy fucking tracking. New recipes are also added each week.
We believe that fitness is for everyone, so this is our way of getting you started on your health and fitness journey at a price most everyone can afford. So what the fuck are you waiting for? We'll see you in the Patreon.
Matt, hi.
Hey.
Nerdle alert. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. How are you?
I'm fucking amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You to hear that? Let's go. Gonna be a great episode. We have good energy
Let's
today.
go.
Good
Yeah.
energy. We're getting into the thick of things, and it's amazing and it's exciting. Change of season, kids back
Yeah.
at school, all that good stuff.
We're doing it. They're doing it. Everyone's fucking doing it.
Everyone is doing it for sure. For sure. I think
Oh, yeah.
everybody's been doing it, and I think people are starting to feel a little bit more of a sigh of relief now that things are finally getting back to that norm with, I think, kids going back to school and things like that. So it's
Yeah. I still have another week. He starts Monday, but all the school activities, we had orientation last night. He does a camp out tomorrow, and then he goes to officially back on Monday the 9th. They start later. It's a private school. I don't know. It's just, they have longer
that's pretty
vacations. Cool. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, Riker's been, I think this is his 3rd week now.
Damn. How's he like high school?
Whatever.
Yeah.
His words, he's a 14-year-old.
That's hilarious.
He enjoys it. So he's a great kid. He really does enjoy it. And
yeah.
Yeah.
Shit doesn't get real until junior year. I remember.
Yeah.
Freshman and sophomore, it's like you're dipping your toes in. I don't know. Things got real fucking cray for me in junior year. That's when I started experimenting. If you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
I'm not worried about that in this day and age with my son. Of course, we've already had those conversations and stuff. But yeah, it's parenting, man. Like I just, because I feel you. I hope he doesn't do the things I was doing in high school, in junior year, right? So,
but we made it. Look at us now.
Yeah, it defined us. It didn't define us, right? It
led our path. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't be who I am today without the craziness I did. Although I do not wish that lifestyle on anybody. Literally don't. Like, I don't. Yeah, it's not something you want to go through.
Oh, show.
So, yeah.
Anyway, so Johnny's going back to school. We have so much to catch up with, dude, because things have been crazy between my life, your life, cut the crap together, right? When we've been trying to cut the crap together, everything.
I know.
So, yeah.
You just got back from a 5-day trip.
Yeah, I went camping, backpacking in northern Michigan, South Manitou Island on Lake Michigan. Incredible. For those our longtime listeners will know that I went there a couple of years ago as well for the first time. So
I remember.
Cool. Great time up until the last night, at least. So it was a really conveniently timed deload week for me too with my running. So I didn't have to do a lot of running there, and all the running I was doing was really easy. And I didn't do all my planned running actually because my ankle was acting up after a long day of hiking the one day. So I skipped one of my runs. I pivoted. Oh my God. And allowed my body to heal,
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Sometimes it's just time on your feet, man. Like,
yes,
you got time on your feet. So that's what my coach used to tell me. She's like, sometimes it's just about getting the time on your feet because that's what you're going to be doing when you're fucking running a half marathon. It's time on your feet.
And that's very true.
I would call that part of your training.
Yeah, exactly. Because the running I didn't do, I definitely replaced with hiking and backpacking nonetheless. Because my pack weighed
Yeah.
45 pounds, you know,
Right.
and I did a solid 10 miles with that on my pack, without that on my back throughout the course of the two different trips we took on the
Yep.
island with our backpacks on. But the one day, the second day there, we had I had a 20-mile day, so that was my first whole day there, and I had a 5 mile scheduled easy run that morning. So I did 5 miles of running. And then me and my brother and my sister-in-law ended up doing a day of hiking across the island to go see all the really cool shit that we didn't see last time. We ended up
Nice.
doing about 9 miles of hiking that day
Wow.
with only about 700 foot of elevation gain, but it was all really sandy
Hmm.
hiking. And we actually climbed a sand dune, a 300-foot sand dune at the end. And that was brutal, right?
I was
So,
gonna say, like hiking in sand is rough.
it's
Sand is
very, very
not
rough.
forgiving at all.
Good. It's a great workout for your calves, for your ankle stability, and your posterior chain, right? So,
Yeah,
yeah, it was very taxing. And now I've got my half marathon coming up in a couple weeks too. So
I know.
that 20-mile day, I actually at the end of that day, and this was the hard part because I was toast at this point. I walked when we got back to our campsite. I walked to the village, which has the only running water, clean water to drink out of
Mm,
a pump or a well there. Otherwise, you have to
hmm
filter it from the lake. And we filtered it from the lake most of the time, but we were all out of water at the end of the day. And our
hmm
water filter is very, very slow. It wasn't going to give us water fast enough. So I
Oh,
walked 5 mile round trip to the village with 3 gallons of water and
oh,
two
fuck.
water bottles. Yeah. So, and I ran some of that too because I wanted to make it faster. So that was a long, tough day, but I didn't do any other running and minimal hiking the rest of the week.
Yeah,
We did lots of board games. We played chess. We played bocce ball. We played Risk. We played Settlers of Catan. It was a great fucking time.
fun. That sounds like
Just what I needed.
blast.
Yeah. Until the last night, I told you about this, but can I rant about this really quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
About assholes in national parks
National
and public
parks. Yeah.
parks, just out in public fucking period. A lot of things were grinding my gears on this trip. Not grinding my gears, but seeing things that bothered me. From the moment we stepped onto this isolated island, we have to take a ferry to get there, take hours to get there.
Hmm.
Very hard to get there. And people just treat it like shit. We get to our campsite and there's toilet paper in the bushes and a roll of toilet paper, used toilet paper in the bush. Clearly, people were using the facilities right in the fucking campsite. First of all,
Right.
that's a no-no. Second of all, whatever you take in, pack out. It's not that
Yeah.
fucking difficult. Stop treating the wilderness like it's your fucking trash can.
Yeah.
And then the second thing, and this is what really was a whole fucking thing. Some asshole lit off fireworks in a national
Uh,
park the last night I was there. Completely blew my
Wild.
fucking mind. In the context here, this guy, they came on these two big yachts. They had their own personal fucking yachts. Came up and anchored in the bay of the national park, and they were ferrying stuff on their little personal fucking boats. From
Hmm.
their yachts were so big they had speedboats to take them to shore. Right. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fuck you money. They were for hours shuffling things back and forth, and our campsite's right on the beach. We're like, what the fuck are these guys doing?
Yeah.
Well, we find out what they were doing. First of all, they had a fire on the beach. Whatever, that's illegal too. But I wasn't going to complain about that. Just let it go. But then they started blowing up the fireworks, right?
Mm.
And I'm not talking. These are commercial, like not. You need to have a license for these. These are big ass mortars, and this is a
Wow.
endangered animal habitat as well. These I'm going to get the bird wrong, like a peregrine or something.
Hmm.
There's like 30 of these birds left. They mate and live on this island right where they were blowing up these fucking fireworks. So me and this other guy walk up to him, and I nice, cool, and calm and everything. I'm like, guys, what's going on? They're like, we're lighting off fireworks. What do you think? I'm like, obviously, did you know you're in a national park? Oh, they're like, well, we're done now. I said, that doesn't matter. This is a national park. I said, there's endangered species right over there. I said, you're ruining everybody's good time. I said, we're
Hmm.
coming here to get away from this kind of stuff. What are you doing? This is illegal. This is a felony. Park rangers
Yeah.
are in their way. They start swearing at me. They're all drunk. The wife's swearing at me. How dare you? Our kids are right here, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, be a better example for your kids and stop breaking the fucking law. Right.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
she's like, what's your problem, man? There was a couple of people over there that were cheering. I'm like, those people are idiots too. I said, nobody should be advocating for this type of behavior. And it was
Yeah.
at that point, and then this big guy steps towards me and this other guy that were there. I'm like, oh, great, it's about to get physical. But then I think he realized how actually fit we were,
Hmm.
and he was not. So
Right.
he stopped coming after us. And then he said, well, you better get the fuck out of here or I'm going to go get the real firearms. I'm like, okay.
Jeez. Yeah.
Throw up my hands, turned around, not worth dying over, right? So
Right.
talked with the park rangers, talked with law enforcement and everything, got video, and it's in their hands now. So
Yeah.
Crazy though. Fucking crazy. They got offended when I would try to hold them accountable for breaking the law. And by the way, I talked to the park rangers and they said, thank you for doing that because there's only so much we can do, especially in that island because it takes hours or days to get there for help, you know?
Right.
So,
And that's probably why they decided to be assholes because they knew that.
exactly. And they said, we didn't know it was a national park. You did not come here, take your yachts hours away out of any form of civilization and didn't know it was a national park and protected shoreline. My ass.
Right. Yeah.
Right. No, fuck you. You don't want accountability. And so that's why they got upset about it. Grown ass adults setting great examples for their kids.
Right.
Like,
but don't swear, Matt.
Don't swear. Don't swear. Our children are here. Never mind the fact that we're committing a felony. Right. And have firearms in a national park, having fireworks in a national park and having a fire in a national park. 3 felonies. Oh, and alcohol. That's another breaking the law. But yeah, I'm the asshole for calling you out for doing these things. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
No. One of these days, though, I made the comment, and I hope that this isn't like a morbid outlook on my future, but I said, one of these days, if I get like shot in public, nobody's going to be surprised because I'm calling somebody out because I just don't ever shut the fuck up. Like if I see something wrong, I say something. And that's just like a moral thing of mine. You know, see something, say something.
I was going to say, when you see something, say something. Don't be that person. I mean,
only you can prevent wildfires.
Right.
Smokey the Bear. Anyway, it was a great fucking trip. Just an eventful, weird last night to it anyway. So,
yeah. Sounds fun.
Yeah. So other than that, what is up with you? What's new with you?
Currently, I am going after this podcast. I'm going to be traveling to Portland and I am getting this house ready that I rented for my coaches from Team BFF to come. And we're going to have a little retreat for 5 days from Thursday till Monday. I'm so pumped. We're going to go to an escape room. We have a gym that we're going to go to, and we're just going to chill. There's going to be a pool, a hot tub, and pickleball court. So
pickleball, nice.
Yeah, I've never played pickleball.
Oh, it's fun. I've only played a couple of times, but it's a great workout. It's a great workout.
Yeah, I'm like, isn't it just like tennis?
Yeah, it's like a smaller version of tennis.
I was going to say it's a smaller court. It's tennis, but not tennis.
Yeah, that's a great way. That's a great way of putting it.
If you could play tennis, you could probably play pickleball. I don't fucking know because I'm not either of those players. Yeah. I'm just guessing.
I would agree with that statement. I've never done any of those, outside of like just for fun, but yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
That's BFF the biggest retreat. Thing. Team BFF retreat. Our second retreat last year was Mount Katahdin, but we didn't get to climb because it was raining.
Yeah.
So this is different. Yeah, I'm excited. Some can't make it, so that's sad. And we'll be thinking.
And your team
has
grown in the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably like 7 or 8 more people since last year.
Cool.
I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and try to count, but
right.
You know.
And personally wise, like you're just wrapping up your cut, right?
I'm wrapping it up and on my way to maintenance right now. I jumped up like a couple hundred calories. She's like, don't go straight to maintenance, like add a couple hundred because, when we get to the retreat, we're obviously, I just want to ease right in and not go from like a fucking deficit right to a surplus. Right. Do you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, not ideal. Not ideal.
Yeah, just slowing my roll
doing a little
right back in.
Quote unquote reverse, right?
Yeah. I don't want to call it that, but
I know.
Basically,
but, I mean that's what
I fucking hate those things. Like,
you're just
why do we have to put labels on shit? And I think this is what fucks people up. I'm going to go on a little mini rant.
Do it.
Labeling everything like a pre-workout, a post-workout. Then people get so fucking lost in those things, right? They're like, what do I eat pre-workout? What do I have post-workout? It's like, just fucking eat if you're hungry. It's really, we complicate it. The internet makes it so complicated. It's like, I eat breakfast. That's my pre-workout. But am I going to say, hey, you know what? I'm having my pre-workout. No, it's my fucking breakfast. And I make sure I have some carbs and some protein with it.
I hear you. I'm going to disagree a little bit, but I'll let you finish your thought. We can have a little conversation.
I'm talking about the general population. If you are like you and you are, let's say, training for something, then you kind of need to pay attention to that. But if you're struggling with building balanced meals, if you're struggling to get to the fucking gym, if you are just starting out, you don't need to get crazy and master that shit. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm going. Like, my demographic.
Start with eating a regular breakfast. That's balanced,
I just want you to get to the fucking gym, and I don't want you to stress about your pre-workout, your post-workout. We can get nitty-gritty with it down the road. Of course, I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying that.
I just like to argue, Beth.
I know. But there's a time and a place, but you know where I'm going with that,
I
right?
do.
Obviously, you're a runner, you're training
Yeah.
for something. You have to pay attention to that shit.
Yeah.
And you also have a good base of knowledge. Okay.
Right.
Like that's not going to throw you over the edge trying to figure it out.
Absolutely.
Someone new at this, that's going to just confuse the fuck out of them when I just want them to get in the gym and eat breakfast. So, you know, that's where I'm going
then
with that.
then you can start worrying about like the types of breakfast and good types of carbs for the energy and things like that.
But honestly, in the beginning, I didn't think about that stuff. I just made sure that I was not starving going to the gym, and I made, you know, and then as I got more knowledgeable, everything else got better. Do you know?
Yeah.
So
I agree with you. Everything you're saying right there. For the general public, and that's with most things, right? The things we see online don't apply to the general public when it comes to being super nitty gritty and majoring in those minor details, right? And that's what we always say. It's like when we say carbs aren't bad for you and sugar's not bad for you, that's like, well, we're not saying for diabetics that this doesn't, like, you don't need to be mindful of these things, right? So it's the same type of thing there.
Yeah. And like reverse dieting, you know, like people get caught up. The
problem with reverse dieting is it's been fucking so improperly used.
That's the thing. It's just these labels. Like it's like, you know, we're just adding more calories. We don't have to fucking label it. You're gonna be like, oh my god, what is reverse dieting? Like, do I need to be doing that? It's like, no, add a couple hundred
Which
calories.
Which is why, guys, when I said reverse dieting, I had the little quotation marks. I hear you, Beth, and that's also to build on what you're saying about how we shouldn't be worrying about those things. When we teach our mindful eating program, that's a 12-week program, and we teach mindful eating for performance and fueling your body, but we don't touch on that until weeks 8 and 9.
Yeah.
So not until 2 months into their mindful eating journey with us. First, we get to the other stuff, right? The building balanced meals, getting through the emotional eating and all of those things first. And then we start worrying about eating to fuel your body for performance versus fat loss versus all these other things. So
it's like a stepping stone. Think of like you're going to school, right? And then you start at kindergarten, you go to first grade, second, third, fourth. As you get better and better and better and smarter, you can add more things to your plate. But when you start from nothing, you really have to start at the minimal shit. And this is where people get lost in the minutia, majoring in the minors, you know? You don't need to worry about pre-workout, post-workout if you don't even know how to fucking build a balanced meal. Let's start there.
Nailed it.
You know what I'm saying? And people on the internet make these things seem like they're like, you need to do this, when no, you need to fucking master the basic ass shit and do that consistently, because you can't even get to the gym consistently. Why are you stressing about post-workout and pre-workout? Like, I would just want you to show the fuck up.
Especially post-workout, and post-workout meals just are stupid. Just eat something. Like, please, just eat something as soon as you can.
A carb source. You're replenishing energy, you know?
Yeah.
Make sure you're getting proper protein throughout the day. You don't need to time your fucking protein when it comes to, like, you know, after your workout, an hour or whatever you want to call it.
Well, especially because we know that the anabolic window, which that is based off of, is bullshit. So
yeah. So it's like, don't go to the gym starving and pass out in the middle of your workout. That's a no, you know, I used to have people that would show up to the gym when I was coaching and would have to step out of class. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh, I almost passed out. I didn't eat before I was coming. So we'd have like an emergency bars in the kitchen.
Because they were probably trying to lose fat, so they were starving themselves.
What are you guys doing? Why are you showing up to a hardcore, intense class right now starving? Like, don't do that. You have to be smarter than that, you know?
So have a meal. Doesn't matter if it's pre-workout or a pre-workout meal or not. Just have a fucking meal before going to work out. Don't work out on an empty stomach for the most part, guys. Unless it's like first thing in the morning when you just woke up. That's most people probably work out somewhat fasted.
When I used to coach and I started classes like at 5 a.m., I wouldn't eat breakfast for a couple hours. And even if I was to work out that early, because you still have energy, food from the night before your meal. So don't stress about eating right when you wake up and go to the gym. Like,
that's
unless it's something you need to do. And also don't go to the gym like 15 minutes after you had a big ass breakfast. Give your belly a little bit of time to digest. You know,
15 minutes for a banana, some fruit, but a full ass meal, you're going to want an hour or so.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Love that. Yeah. Stop worrying about the shit that doesn't matter. Majoring in the minors. God, we talk about that all the time, don't we?
It's something people need to do more because they get so lost in all these fucking videos. I get messages all the time asking me about stuff. And it's like, you guys, like, stop stressing. You're stressing me out worrying about the stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes I may make things sound like they're not important because I don't want you to focus on those things right now.
Mm-hmm. Because most people have no business worrying about those things. Those are things that you need, don't even have that basic shit under control. And we think about it in terms of like, I don't know. You used the grade school analogy earlier, right? You
Hmm.
can't go to high school before, you've completed elementary unless you're a prodigy or something, right?
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah.
and repairing your relationship with food is like a prerequisite for fat loss too, right? For long-term fat
Yeah.
loss. So it's a 101 class. You try to take the 301 class before taking the 101 class, and you're going to bomb
Hmm.
out because you don't know anything.
And then you keep failing, and then you keep staying back a grade until you get it right.
Keep trying to take that 301 class without learning the basics shit.
You know?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And because it's boring, you don't want to stick through it. But that's the only way you're going to succeed. You just keep doing it over and over till you get it right.
The boring, basic shit.
Boring fucking shit. And I'm fucking 8 years into this shit. Trust me, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm literally probably now just getting into the nitty gritty.
Same. I would agree with you entirely in terms of now I'm really performance based, right? Now I
Yeah.
have some real athletic goals that I'm chasing
Hmm.
10 years
Exactly,
into it.
Matt. And what people don't understand that fitness is a lifestyle forever. And we all started from somewhere, right? I was a beginner and I find myself probably, I'm not advanced yet, I wouldn't even say.
I don't want to interrupt you, Beth, but this really grinds my gears. And I don't want any women or men out there to take offense to this, but maybe you need to. I see so many people starting their fitness journey with aspirations to do their first bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially women, why are you doing this to yourselves? You need to build up a base. You can't just go from being overweight or having no muscle mass to all of a sudden, now I'm going to get my life in order and I'm going to do that by training for a bodybuilding competition. What
I would
the
have to
fuck?
say, yeah, that's insane. I would have to say that I wouldn't have been ready to train for a bodybuilding show until now if I wanted to, which is not on my list at
Now
all
you
of
got the muscle
anything
base.
to do. Now I have the base to build off of. But
If you trained for a bodybuilding show, Beth, you did it. Yeah, you'd crush it.
yeah, but not a year or even two before this.
Because
You
you've been
know,
in this you went into really fantastic, incredible, intentional muscle building phase with Coach Kelly on your team, right? And
yeah,
yeah,
muscle fat loss. But I built a significant amount of muscle before this, but she really
true.
dialed me in
She dialed you in.
with specific workouts for me, specific macronutrients. I've never really paid attention to specific carbohydrates and making sure I get a certain amount of fat and also that's not something I really discussed on social media because it's not important to anybody else.
Right.
It really isn't. And why do I need to
Unique to
discuss
you.
any of that? But also I never paid attention to pre or post workout unless I was running, but not like before I'm going to the gym to lift, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now I've been actually focused. She's like, make sure you get more carbs and, she make sure this breakfast is this and then replenish with some carbs after. And there's a reason for that because I'm doing this something intentional here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, if you're just starting out, your intention is getting in the fucking gym, building some muscle, right? Like mine now is like body recomposition.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And for me, it's performance based. I'm doing 25 miles plus a week of running. I've got my half marathon coming up. I'm training for races and
Yeah.
I legitimately want to see where I can take running and cross training in particular, see where the hell I can take it. And I'm really
awesome.
serious about it. So that's why it's time to get into the nitty gritty,
Yeah.
and I definitely didn't have this mindset many years ago. I had to figure out what worked for me and what the fuck I was doing. And I had to try a bunch of different shits before I really found my true calling. I feel like I thought it was powerlifting, right? And then powerlifting still
this is more
heart.
you from me being a friend of yours for a long time, knowing you. Like I knew I was like you would love running that. You're like I was like you are the runner's mind.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like that's something that like us, like Squirrel, we need. That's our focus for us.
Yeah.
Because we don't have time to do anything else because we're just here. You have to be here.
No distractions.
We can't go there. We can't go there. We can't go here. We're just here and we're in it. And, it's the best thing ever.
I agree. You're spot on there.
All right. It is freedom. For me, it's like I do my best thinking when I'm running, hiking, doing anything that I really can't look at my phone or be distracted by anything else besides what's in front of me.
I agree. And I'll be honest, I don't get the same mental benefits from strength training as I used to. So now it's running provides that to me. And I'll be honest, I don't think strength training ever really gave me the mental clarity and focus that running does give me.
It never gave me that. Only running has.
I love strength training. I fucking love strength training, near and dear to my heart. So important. But most days I don't want to strength train, but I almost never, ever want to feel like skipping a run,
Yeah.
That's just where I'm at right now.
Yeah. I'm kind of the opposite right now. I'm into because I really want to change my body. I'm like, I really want to see where I can take myself. I never really did. I just strength trained and fucking went through the motions, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that anymore. I'm like, let's see where we
Okay.
can go with this shit.
I love that. Intentional nerdles.
Yeah. And it's not about what the coolest fucking thing about this whole experience I think I've learned about myself is that it has not been about the scale. Like the coolest fucking thing for me
I
is
don't
to
even know the
not
last
even,
time you posted a body weight on the internet or we talked about your body weight. I don't.
you know what? Because now it doesn't matter. I go by how I feel. I go by my pictures. And I'm still weighing myself. And it's
But that's
literally,
for you and your coach.
yeah, it's stuck between the same thing. It's not really going anywhere. You know what I'm saying? And if this was me a couple years ago, I would have been like, what the fuck? Like, do we need to cut calories? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, no, we're staying the course because look at your body changing. My coach Kelly has me taking photos like every week, every couple weeks. And that has been the coolest thing. And also seeing myself progress in weights in the gym. Like, okay, now I've jumped from 10-pound cable lat raises to 15 when I was at 10-pound lat raises for a fucking year, it seems like, so that kind of shit is cool to me. It's like, okay, my lats are getting, or not lats, I'm sorry, my fucking
your delts or your lat. Oh, I see.
That's what I meant. My lat raises. Jesus Christ. I'm
your
like
lateral
losing my
raises,
mind.
your deltoids.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha.
So anyway, yeah.
Your lateral delts. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. I was like, wait, am I talking about the right body part? Yes, I am.
Yeah.
One of those days. But anyway, I think that's the coolest thing. And I really want people to understand, like, because so many people get lost in that number, Matt, the scale. They don't understand, like, that is literally the least thing that they should be even thinking about.
And it's also the least interesting thing about everybody.
It is, if you are getting stronger, if you're seeing body composition changes, fuck the scale.
Right.
It's like, obviously it's working. You can control your actions, but you cannot control the fucking outcome. So that I know that I'm consistently taking action every single day. I'm working my fucking ass off in the middle of so much chaos, and to see results because of that, you're consistently taking action and not looking at the scale for them.
Yeah. And obviously I'm not training for physique right now. Not to say I never will again, because I have before. I'm sure as my evolution goes, I'll get to that point again. But right now body scale is nothing that I worry about personally. The only time I use the scale is when I'm doing something for social media, So that's it. And to talk about that too, the non-scale stuff in particular, like we wrapped up and I know you have a challenge coming up soon and we can talk about that. But we wrapped up our challenge yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Our 38-day challenge. And
right.
So we had a wrap-up call and we were just kind of talking. We talked about, I asked everybody for what one of their doubts was coming into the challenge, and then like one thing they learned about themselves. And one woman, Sarah, she said something that really touched me. Honestly, it was like, I no longer feel like I need to just be as small as possible. You guys have given me permission to want to be strong, to look at ways that I'm making progress outside of the scale, right? Her inches are down, like blood pressure is improved and all these other things. She's running and stuff. So, and she's like, I started this challenge with the goal of losing weight, but now I don't care about that anymore. And she's finding other ways to be healthy and feel good about herself. And that's just a shift from like that diet mentality, right?
Yeah.
That's really where the scale comes from. It's that diet mentality. And determining your self-worth from that, Go
into it just trying to be better, get healthy. Like a weight loss it will be a byproduct.
Exactly. Like we can't guarantee weight loss but for the most part, like Beth, you worked with so many, like between the two of us, we've worked with thousands of clients, right?
Yeah.
And that's a common thing that we have seen with all of our clients, whether they're weight loss focused or not, or when they change their focus from weight loss or whatever, they start focusing on performance, what they can do with their body, right?
Yeah.
And things like that, how they can manipulate their body to do their first push-up, their first pull-up, their squat, their body weight. Body composition almost always changes as a result of that.
It's like, what do we teach our kids? Like we teach our kids to get strong, right?
Right. Oh my God. Yes. I wanted to make a video about this, but we'll talk about it now. This just happened yesterday with me and Riker. So I just thought about this in the shower before the podcast. So shower thought. I just remembered this. I picked him up yesterday from school. And we were both hungry. I hadn't eaten for a few hours and he was hungry before we went and worked out. So we went out to eat at a Mexican restaurant, our favorite Mexican restaurant, and chips and queso. Got to get that, right? He had like a lemonade or something. He only had like maybe a handful or two of chips and he stopped. And he said, I'm going to stop. He said, I'm not going to eat anymore because if I do, I'm not going to eat my food that comes. And same with his lemonade. When she asked him if he wanted a refill, he said, no, I'll just save this one because I drink too much and I always fill up on that. Thinking back on it, I was like, holy shit, that is so mindful.
Yeah.
He knew that if he continued to eat the chips, he wasn't going to be hungry for his main dish, right? And if adults are hearing this, right, they are. That means like you're probably going to still continue to eat that dish because you've got it, or you're still going to end up overeating in some way. So he stopped himself knowing that he had the food coming, and he stopped himself from filling up on empty calories essentially with the lemonade and things like that. So it was just really cool. Like that's nothing I've ever had to teach him.
Yeah.
Right. So that goes back to my idea behind this message was how we always talk about how we model these behaviors for our children. Right. I don't teach my son mindful eating.
Yeah.
He just sees me doing it.
Yeah.
Right. You don't teach your son a lot of these things that he does, but he sees you doing them, right? As a byproduct of that. So it's like we get that question a lot. How do I get my children involved? How do I get my significant other involved? Show them. Show them. I know there's a little side tangent there.
No, but it's true. And also you can make them do things. I've been making my son go on walks for me.
Well, you are a fucking parent, so yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's like, well, my child doesn't want to walk with me. Okay, so how old are they?
You
like, are they
18? At the end of the day.
You know, like I tell my son, I'm like, listen, I don't give him an option. I say, listen, you got 30 minutes and we're going to go on a walk. And, you know, at first he'll complain. And then it's like, okay, we've been doing it every day for the past, 3 weeks since the summer has kind of slowed down. And so at least 30 minutes a day. It's like, all right, we're going to walk the dog. And now he kind of knows, okay, what time are we walking today? Type thing, you know? So it's like, at first he didn't want to, and he was pissed. He was like, I don't want to fucking get down. I'm like, no, you are doing this because you are not sitting on your fucking computer all day while I am working and not getting outside. So you have to make some fucking boundaries and some rules with your kids. You have to do it. They need exercise. I'm sorry.
And that applies
and yourself. Get the fuck outside. You need to tell yourself this is what you need. Get the fuck outside today.
Get the fuck outside.
You know?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Absolutely. And this was a common theme on our wrap-up call yesterday. Coach Liz was talking about this a lot, is that resistance to change that we feel once we start a new lifestyle change or a new diet, right? Sometimes, especially on these diets, we're going to start feeling that fatigue and things, but it's your brain is trying to resist that change. And because your brain doesn't want change, ultimately. It wants to keep you comfortable, keep you safe. But these things we're doing aren't unsafe for us. We need to prove to our brain that we're going to be safe and better off for it. And it's literally neuroplasticity. We got to rewire all these connections in our brain. That's literal science. You've been doing it this one way. It's going to be hard to break yourself of that. Your brain's going to be shouting at you and screaming at you. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. This is uncomfortable. What the fuck are you doing to me, man?
Yeah.
You got to keep going. At some point, the brain's going to be like, oh, that wasn't so bad. This opening is brand new, baby. Let's light it up.
Literally have to consistently step out of your comfort zone over and over again. I'm fucking used to it at this point. I'm sure you are too. It's like, you know, some things are really scary now, but I know I need to do them. And I just do them. I may be kicking and screaming, but I do them. And then I'll do something harder the next time.
Yeah. Did you see that I posted this thing on my Instagram story this morning for a flow chart for doing something? It had 2 branches. Okay. So at the top of it, I want to do this thing. And then one of the decisions of the flow chart was I'm scared. And
and then do it scared. Do it anyway, right? Do it scared. Yeah.
So do it scared.
Every time someone tells me that they're scared to do it, I'm like, that means you need to do it. Do it fucking. I love to say, like, you do.
if you're scared, that means you're about to do something really fucking brave, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
It's that scare. That's your brain as a scare tactic. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your brain is making you afraid. It's like, I don't want that. Please don't change. I'm comfortable right now.
I know.
Right?
Like my speaking event last year. Oh my God.
But you might not be in your body or your life. What was that, Beth?
Yeah. The speaking event last year, that scared the fuck out of me. I was scared for a year about that shit.
Yeah.
That stressed me. I did it scared. I was fucking crying before. But now it's like, okay, I could totally do that again and not be as scared. I'd be like, yeah, I can do this. Like I'm doing an event for Mike Milner, and I'm going to be to his cohort people and whoever wants to join. It's free. And now I'm like, I'm not worried about it because I've done it before, but this time it's, virtual. I'm going to be doing the same chat that I did at the Real Coaches Summit, which is cool because it's the same topic.
Oh, that's badass. I love that.
Yeah. I might change it a little bit, but that would have scared the shit out of me if I didn't do that speaking event.
You did it scared. You proved to yourself that you can do it. right?
Mhm.
And now your brain is like, "Whoa, that was nothing. I can do that again. But bring more
Yeah,
on. Look at you."
right.
And
Exactly.
for sure, so prevalent. And that's
Yeah.
what, like, our challenge, your challenge, you've got yours coming up, right? That's really what they're so good for too, is
Mhm.
helping people just prove to themselves that they can fucking do it.
Yeah.
We're literally, it's a little stepping stone to the rest of their life. We're showing everybody what's possible in these little 1 month kind of blocks, right?
Yeah, and you can't unlearn this information that Matt and we teach you in our challenges. It's like, it's extremely valuable information for life.
Hmm. But like the journey doesn't end there though, right?
No, no.
Building blocks.
It's just starting. It's like
It's just starting.
it's literally kindergarten.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or even preschool.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Like,
orientation to kindergarten.
yeah, orientation. There we go. Orientation. Fun fact, I did kindergarten twice. Did you know that?
Did you know? I didn't.
Yeah, I totally did kindergarten twice.
No.
Yep. I had a speech impediment when I was a child.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, I had to go to speech therapy for years.
Really?
I didn't start talking for many, like, I was a late talker apparently.
Really?
Now I won't shut the fuck
Now
up.
I was going to say, now you don't shut the fuck up.
See, therapy works, baby.
Oh, shit. So preparing you.
Speech therapy. Yeah.
Mhm.
I couldn't pronounce my R's. I couldn't enunciate shit. So it actually happens quite often. So that's one thing with my speech impediment, I guess, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like, I still stutter from time to time. I still have trouble enunciating and stuff, especially when I get all excited.
Yeah.
Fun fact. Yeah.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, a little squirrel moment.
We all have something. I'm like, what? I'm sure I've had something I can't remember.
Yeah.
Who the fuck knows?
Right.
When was I
When you
born?
graduate?
91.
91. Got it. That was a good year.
I did, although, okay, so I went to Catholic school, right, private school. And then when we moved to Maine, I had to go to public school. So this is a little fun fact. When I was in private school, I had to take things like Latin. I was all the way up to like Algebra 2, trig almost. So when I got to Camden Rockport High School in Maine, I had to choose classes because I was far advanced for the classes that they had, and I got out at 10 a.m. every day for the last 2 years of my high school year. So I took like fucking sewing, I took Spanish, I took like phys ed, just shit just to take
electives.
it. Computer class, like we just had like computers come out, so they had the big computers in the class,
Oh wow.
Yeah, so that I guess is a fun fact. I was learning more than the public school by going to private school.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. But we had to leave and we couldn't afford private school anymore because, it got fucking expensive. My parents were working like 2 jobs to send me there. So
got it. Yeah, I hear you there.
And they're like, we can't go to public school in Connecticut where we were. It probably wouldn't have been safe.
Got it.
Yeah.
Fun fact nerdles today.
I
know. A bit about our childhood.
I know. I'm not saying I'm fucking smart or anything. I'm just saying that the school I went to made us take hard shit.
You think you're smart, nerdle?
My thing was my parents always said that if I only applied myself, you'd be so far from now, but you don't even apply yourself. It's like, I'm not failing. Like, what the fuck?
I was ranting about that a couple weeks ago on my Instagram story because I was looking at one of my old high school report cards from my 11th grade. There's something about me being very smart but not applying myself. It was like, no, this school sucked. The way they were teaching did not interest me. And also, like, I never learned. Like, I went to college 2 years for my IT degree. I didn't learn a single fucking thing. I started creating websites when I was 15. What the fuck were they going to teach me, right? Like, I was self-taught with all of that shit.
That's the thing. Like, I went to Catholic school, which was hell. I mean, imagine like being fucking 15 and you're taking Latin. Talk about not caring. You know what I'm saying?
Latin, like a dead language.
Serious?
Well, there wasn't a dead language back then.
So much better. It's like fucking Latin, man. I would like write the answers on my hand. I was bored. I was like, fuck this shit. I mean,
right. Bored is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it didn't interest me. So I didn't.
Especially when you were going to school, they didn't know about ADHD then. Even when I was growing up in the early 90s, that was not really. I remember ADD was a thing, but I certainly was never talked about having that, or because I was an adult, I was like, holy fuck, why didn't anybody ever have this conversation? Right. But I was
Well,
just a bad kid.
that's the same thing with now they're saying that certain things cause autism, and it's like, no, we're just learning more about it now. It just wasn't
Yes,
called anything then.
neurodivergency has always been a thing.
It's not like it just suddenly happened.
We're just
You
learning
know,
about it. Yeah.
we're learning about it. We have the internet now, so we can hear more about it. We
It's like
didn't
thinking
have
back a lot
access.
about some of the smartest people in history, like Albert Einstein. He was absolutely like, he was on the spectrum, like these brilliant minds, right? Like now that
Yeah.
knowing what we know now, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
I'm
That's
learning a
what
lot
people don't
about
understand.
autism in particular, especially because Sarah, my girlfriend, her son is on the spectrum. So I'm
Oh,
really
I didn't know
learning.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm learning a lot for sure.
Johnny's got he was never fully diagnosed, but he's got sensory processing
Okay.
stuff.
Okay.
So he's on the spectrum in some sense because I had to take him to occupational therapy. I don't know if this is another fun fact that you may not know about Johnny, and maybe it will make sense to you now.
Okay.
That he used to have to go to occupational therapy because he wouldn't take his socks off. I mean, there was things that he would not do. And
Okay.
was a very, like, he cried all the time as a child. He would not be alone. Like, there was so many things that my friend Selena was like, Beth, my son is like that. And I really feel like they're a lot of alike. You should get him evaluated. So I did. And so he went, and he was like 3 at the time. So they didn't like diagnose him with anything specific. Just, he's got sensory, probably maybe on the cusp of whatever. And I just took him to his therapy for a couple of years every week. And now he has these things where he will hyper focus on certain things. And I noticed that what I learned in occupational therapy is what I've continued to do with him. So it's things like letting him know far in advance that something's going to happen. Every certain time of year, like this time of year, I always forget because we'll go through really good periods and then we'll go through really bad periods.
Mhm.
So like the few weeks if he got a cut, he hyper focused on it to the point where it was like obsessive. It was very intense. And having a high anxious child on the cusp of, I don't know, because they didn't give a label to it,
Right. Right.
And then me as a high anxiety parent, it's like, but there's certain things with Johnny that I have to do and I have to know, and we have our own way of working together.
That's awesome.
That's
good.
I guess
Like,
so to put it,
systems, right? And just learning, learning about each other and learning what he likes. And because that's the thing too, is like, he just likes it a certain way. Right. And that makes sense too. Cause now that you told me this, because like he does things a certain way and he likes things a certain way. And when they're not kind of that way, like it can throw him off, I feel like. And
that's the thing, right? Like it does, it throws him off and he doesn't know how to recenter himself. Like most people can be like, oh, that's no big deal. He'll sit in it. And he'll like think about this way, that way. And it's like, he doesn't let it go. It's mind boggling, but at the same time, it's not my brain. I have to learn how to work with his brain.
You have to learn his brain. Right.
Yeah. And that's like not his way of thinking, and the way he does things isn't bad because I do things the way I do things. And I might think the way he's doing something is kind of weird to me, but that's just how he does things. And I think that's what people need to understand, is that we're all different. We have to learn how to work with each other.
Yes.
That's our shit,
For sure. And I'm going to just say this, Beth. This is what makes you a great coach. And this is why I'm a great coach, because we have that empathy factor. Like that's such an important thing with coaching, is being able to relate to people, relating to our clients. If you just have this black and white thinking, you're never going to be able to fucking help anybody.
Right.
You gotta, if you can't put yourself in their shoes, fucking try. Just try.
Yeah. And not everyone learns the same way. I'm a visual learner. I have a hard time reading, but if you give me pictures and, if you summarize something, I will understand it. But everyone has their own way of retaining information. And some people will ask me, don't you get sick of repeating yourself? No, because sometimes people need to get it repeated and repeated until they actually understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well said. And you don't know when that's going to be. Sometimes it hits them. Right. And we hear that a lot too with followers and people that or no longer follow us and then start following us again. And we've had this happen. Somebody follows me, unfollows me, and then later on they become a client. Right. And it's like, oh, I unfollowed you years ago because I wasn't ready to hear it. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear that a lot
one day you popped back up and here I am. And
they're like, you pissed me off, but it was actually me.
Yes, it was me. Hello, it was me. I'm the problem.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, I love those stories. I'm like, well, welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. Happy to have you.
Glad you're here.
Yeah, we might have told each other to fuck off when you left, but it's all in love. So can we dedicate some time for our next hike meet and greet once we're done here?
Let's talk about it.
Are we ready to move into that?
Let's do it. We got 10
Okay.
minutes. We
We
need you
have
guys to show the
specific.
fuck up, okay? Okay. Our UP peeps, we are talking
Our
to you.
upper peninsula,
Michigan
northern
peeps,
Michigan,
okay?
Ohio people, wherever you're coming from.
You asked, we are giving. Okay. So I'm flying out over to the Michigan area, and we want you to come meet us to go hike. So Matt, you want to give the details?
I sure as fuck will. So October 12th is when we are doing the hike, and this is for everybody, right? October 12th, it's a Saturday. We are going to meet at 8 a.m. and we are meeting in Shingleton, Michigan at
Shingleton,
not Singleton. Don't kill us for having typos. Shingleton, Michigan. We are going to be doing the Chapel Beach Loop, which is an incredible. I think it's Chapel Beach or it's Chapel Loop or something like that. But
Matt, you better get it right.
Okay, well, let me just look it up really quickly so that we don't get.
I mean, don't fuck around, all right? No.
Here, I know a couple of people have done it as well. So it's about a 6-mile hike. It's going to be giving us some of the best views of Lake Superior and the Upper Peninsula and Pictured Rocks area. So that's where we are meeting. Chapel Beach. Yes, it's called the Chapel Beach Loop. It's a 6.5-mile loop near Shingleton, Michigan. It's generally considered moderately. I looked it up, and I know a few people, or moderately challenging, but I know a few people have done it. My girlfriend Sarah has done it. She did it, I think, last year. A couple of my friends have done it. It's a pretty easy loop.
Nice.
There's not like it's very picturesque. You get all the good scenery. You get the coastal viees of.
Looks beautiful. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Are your parents coming?
I believe my dad is going to come. My mom is like a maybe. She's kind of more of a hermit sometimes. So we'll see if she goes or not. But hopefully, Sarah's going to come, so you guys can finally fucking meet.
Okay, cool, nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
And I was thinking about maybe seeing if Riker wants to come, but he would have to come like later. So, he could probably ride with my dad later in the day because we're going to get there pretty early before everybody else even. So
yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
So that's the details. We have the link to RSVP. Will be in the show notes. So that you can get there. I just checked and we had like 8 people as of last night RSVP'd after you posted the link the other day. So that's cool.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It'd be cool to see an identical show turn out like we had last October in Hocking Hills,
I know.
Ohio.
We had 20
Ohio versus
people.
Michigan, the age-old rivalry.
Yeah.
Bigger.
Who's going to be better here? Who's going to show the fuck up?
30-something people show up to Hocking Hills. Can Michigan outdo that? I think we might have some people that were also at the Hocking Hills hike because we started talking about this hike in Hocking Hills with everybody there.
That's what I'm saying. You guys wanted us to go to the UP. You better show the fuck up. That's all I got to say. Because we have these people like, you need to come here. You need to come here. You need to go there. You need to go here. And then you don't fucking show up to where actually we're going. Come on. I mean, I'm flying the fuck out. I'm leaving my family to go hike with you guys,
Yeah. We'll go wherever you guys tell us to go. You just got to come.
That's the thing. Yeah. You just got to show up. You can't just be like, oh, you should do it here.
People have been showing up. And they've been doing it.
No, I know. But you know what I'm saying.
I know. I just want people to continue showing up. Let's make this a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love it. Big thing.
Yes.
Big thing. It's going to be fall in the UP. If y'all don't know, go look it up because it's beautiful. Like you'll drive through the Valley of Trees, I think it's called. You're going to have all the colors changing. Pictured Rocks. It's a national lakeshore, giant inland fucking sea. Seriously, if you've never seen Lake Superior, you guys need to come check it out with us. So I've never seen Lake Superior, so I'm looking forward to it.
Me neither. So I'll be a newbie.
Okay.
Newbie too.
Newbie nerdles. One other thing, shout out to Cured Nutrition. I want to give an update on what they're doing this month for everybody. By the way, they sold out of the salve. Did you see the email from Will?
No, I didn't check that yet.
They completely sold out of the salve. And I'm like, wow. Really? I don't know if that's because of us, but because we started promoting it. Because I fucking love the salve. I took it with me camping.
Oh, I know. I was actually put it on Johnny's neck because he had neck pain, and he's like, "Oh my god, that helps so much. I'm bringing it to the retreat with me."
Yeah, I took it camping. Pumped. It was my one item. I was like, "Do I really need this?" Yes, I need to make room for this.
Oh, it's so nice.
Sarah's been using the salve actually on her back and stuff as well because she has fibro flare-ups really bad, and it helps with the knots that she gets from her fibro.
Nice. Thanks for reminding me. I got my gummies, and I need to bring and pack because those are a lifesaver. Love
The
my
Serenity
Serenity
gummies?
gummies. I literally every single day in the late afternoon, they're sitting right there. I have to remember to put them in my pack right here.
Hell yeah. And I'm sure I'm sure Kira will be sponsoring our meet and greet in Michigan too, because that's what
Oh
they've been
yeah.
doing lately. So
Yep.
yeah, fuck yeah.
Yep.
The Serenity gummies, do love those
Yes.
Serenity gummies too. I haven't been taking
Yep.
them very much recently, but
No,
I know you're still taking them, but I'm swearing by
I
this
do.
app.
I
I'm
religiously
swearing
do
by this
now.
app. I do still take the Rise
Yep.
supplement for the cognition in the morning. So I'm just taking that and I love it. I'm
Nice.
loving it. What I did want to mention though is this month they just had their birthday sale last month, which
I
was giving
know. We
everybody
sold out
30%
of
off.
the what did we sell? We sell out the
The free
coupons or
samples that they
whatever.
gave.
The free
They had like
samples. We
1,000 free
sold out.
samples, and we posted about it, and you guys fucking took them all. Like you guys are loving the cured stuff. So
That's awesome.
they had their birthday sale, but this month what they're doing is they're taking 10% off of any combo of theirs that they have on their shop, but that 10% will stack with our 20%. So they can get
Fuck
30%
yeah.
off
I love that they do
any
that.
combo.
I love they do that.
Right. Because you could, I mean,
Every time
30%
they
out
do
of a
that,
$100 combo, that's a
yeah,
$70 thing, right? So
it's
you can
awesome.
do that, guys, for this month of September by using our code. You'll get 20% off with our code. It's CTC, and you can stack that with their 10% that they have off of any combo. So
Mm-hmm.
really fucking cool. So that is
Really fucking
coupon code CTC, and you can do that at
Mm-hmm.
curednutrition.com/CTC. So we're really loving those things. Other than that, I think oh my God. I'm going through nightmare with this freaking car situation, dude. I got a
Oh,
rental car for the
dude.
week, thankfully, but now it's like I have to jump through hoops just to get a payout for my car that they told like that I had no business like hit on the side of the road, parked, right? And now the insurance company is being a dickhead, of course, about it. So I got to battle with them. And
That's the thing. Like we need insurance, but they never fucking help us when we need it. Like you
no,
know, you
no.
pay for fucking
You got to go,
years,
you got to
right?
jump through a hoop to
And
get them to do a
you
payout.
have a fucking accident that's not even your fault, and you can't even get help from your fucking
Here's the
insurance
real
company.
kicker, Beth.
What's the fuck is that? You
I
know?
don't want to talk poorly about like police or anything, but I'm doing all the detective work. I'm the one following up with neighbors, asking them if they have video footage. I'm the one following up with Amazon because we thought Amazon was involved. I'm the one doing all this shit. Why am I having to solve my
I
own
don't
fucking
know.
crime?
I don't know. That's crazy though.
Like, I understand, I get it, like limited resources, but I don't know. It's just I have not had pleasant
Well, if you
experiences
want
with law enforcement
something
and
done right, you got to
the
fucking do
judicial
it
system
yourself
this year.
sometimes.
So,
Sorry.
oh, you're good. What was that?
I said if you want something to be done right,
You gotta do it yourself.
sometimes you got to do it yourself. Even with our own healthcare, Matt.
Yeah,
You have
you
we
have to
have to be
advocate
our
for
own
yourself. That's
advocate
so
for
true, Beth.
everything.
Nobody's gonna advocate for you.
You know,
And I
it
say that all
sucks.
the time. You're right. Thanks for setting me straight because you're right. Nobody's gonna do this shit for you. Nobody's gonna fucking help you. So I gotta do it myself. I
Like
can't rely on it.
if you want it, like no one's gonna be like, yeah,
I'm
we're gonna have
doing
to
it,
get
but I'm
money.
not happy about it. Ugh.
No, I wouldn't be either. I wouldn't
Especially when
either.
I'm trying, like, I just need to
Because
get my son to and from school right now. That's my main concern, you know?
it's because you walked out to a situation that was like you weren't like driving, you just walked
Yeah.
out to your car being fucking hit and totaled, right?
Yeah.
And now you're needing a vehicle. It's like no one's it's
And it happened at the worst
bullshit.
time because I was just like, it happened the day before Riker was starting school. It happened like when I
Oh
was
my
getting ready to
God.
do a group coaching call. And then I left
Right.
I had the camping trip scheduled right after that. So I was like, man,
Wow.
what a horrible time for that to happen. I'm not complaining, dealing with it, radical fucking acceptance. I can still
Mhm.
complain about it, but I'm still doing things about it. That's what radical acceptance is. I accept that this shitty thing happened to me.
Mhm.
I'm not going to just sit here and, oh, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything about it. No, I'm fucking handling it, damn it, whether I like it or
Yeah.
not.
Exactly.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, there's something we did want to mention, I think, about the consistency aspect. Because we did talk about like how we were giving ourselves grace. Because remember how we were talking on the phone Sunday or Monday?
Yeah, we were talking about our own what was going on with the consistency.
Well, we've reposted 2 of our old episodes recently with the podcast.
Oh, right. We're talking about us and our podcast and what's been going on with us, and we've been pivoting the fuck out of life.
Yes.
And that sometimes, okay, I remember now.
I can't believe we almost didn't talk about this.
We've been really hard on ourselves because we've been both like doing one thing, or I got sick and I couldn't connect with Matt on our meet and greet in
And then
Maine.
I couldn't connect with Beth. I almost dropped the ball, and then I fucked up when I had that follow up or last week, right? I slipped and we didn't have a recording ready to go.
Right, Matt forgot to tell me he was going camping. during a podcast, right?
Yeah.
I think that was too.
Well, yes. At the end of the day,
And it was like
the buck
suddenly
stops
like,
with
oh,
CSM,
I guess
right?
we're not recording. We need to find a podcast for this
That sees
Friday.
me on Instagram like, oh, what? So yes, I dropped the ball on
You're
that.
on for
Right?
5 days. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We like Matt.
Math.
But I
So
was like, squirrel
yeah,
Matt. I get it.
yeah.
He's got a lot going on. But we've had to repost old podcasts because we've been so busy. But the thing is, we're consistent. So it's not like we're like, fuck it, we're not going to just put anything out. You know what I
We're
mean?
not just gonna skip a week.
Yeah. And it hasn't been perfect. Like, we haven't been able to record consistently because it's
For
been a
this year for our
pivoting.
podcast, in terms of recording and stuff, it's been like challenging to do it
Yeah.
consistently, right? We're entering year 3 of our podcast. Can you believe that?
I know. And I think it's been summer, really, has been
Summer's
what
been
the deal has been.
Mhm.
So, we're going to be getting back into it, like everyone else, like we're pivoting during this season.
So yeah, like Beth,
So-
Beth and I were texting on Sunday, and she's like, "Hey, time for a call." I'm like, "Absolutely." I was thinking the same thing. So we were talking, and we both kind of said the same thing. Like, I'm really struggling with giving myself grace right now, right? That was
Yeah.
we both kind of said that, right? And I'm like, I think you said it first, and I'm like, thank you for saying that because I'm struggling with that too. And I said, especially because I felt like it landed on me last week for not having a new episode, right? So we kind of just, as soon as we both said that, we're like, wow, thank you. Instantly felt better. Like,
Right.
that we were able to give ourselves grace. And because like you said, like we're doing what we can to be consistent. This is what we teach our clients, and this is what we want our followers to understand. It might not be pretty. It might be lower effort. Now, I want to say lower effort, but it might not be what we want to be able to do. But we still did something. Right. We found a way to pivot and be consistent. And that's
we
what
talked
matters.
about it.
We talked about it. Had we not talked about that, those feelings that we were both feeling could have potentially festered too, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. What people don't understand, they don't like. I'm just throwing this as an example.
Yeah.
If their, husband keeps sabotaging them, like just for an instance, because we're in the health and wellness industry, right?
Yeah.
You haven't had the conversation with this person. So you're building up this resentment towards this person. Like they should know. It's like, no, it's because you haven't communicated. I don't think people understand the importance of communication. Like me and Matt are communicating. So therefore, we are both feeling the same way, but would have never known if we didn't communicate the fact that we're both kind of struggling with the fact that we weren't doing what we wanted to be doing,
Yes.
So it's like, you guys have to fucking communicate. And I think that's one of the biggest things that kept me drinking is not communicating and all the resentment that I had from not being true to myself and what I really wanted and not voicing. It's a big issue, you guys, communication. And that
really
goes with clients, not communicating to coaches, not communicating with your spouse, your children. You've got to fucking use your
voice. It goes back to being uncomfortable, right? Because these are like they can be uncomfortable conversations sometimes, or because we're afraid of what the other person's how they're going to react too, right?
Yeah.
But like me and Beth, we trust each other. Like we're best friends. Like we're partners in this. Like we have that open communication. Sometimes it's we just need to be vocal. But we just need to be vocal about it, right? But
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I'm glad that we were able to.
That's our lesson to you guys. Imperfect action beats
imperfect action. Doing it scared, doing it ugly action, whatever that means. Because we really do. Just what is that one thing that you can do to continue to move the pendulum forward, or even just maintain? Because maintenance is progress too. And like with our podcast, especially, we haven't grown much this year. Like we've been maintaining though, but also we have. Like our lives have been crazy, and like I think anybody that listens to us understands that. And we'll get to a place again where we go into like trying to grow again and build more.
Right.
We every time we get together, we try to do that, but it'll happen when it happens. So and that's
the thing, Matt. We have realistic expectations, right? Like I don't expect us to be at the top 10 of the charts currently.
Right.
That's not my expectation.
We were expecting to be in the top 10 of the charts with
It's not our expectation because we know that we have not currently been able. I say we do give our best when we're here, but we haven't been able to.
We do, but it's just showing up like sometimes, right?
Right, exactly.
To do a full episode is hard. Like, I mean, I literally, when I was on my way to you, I had to rent an office space on my way to you, right? And then when I got to you, because I rented the office space on my way to you because I decided to make it a road trip and drive there. We made that happen. And then you got sick. We weren't able to record. I went camping. We recorded. I went camping again. So yeah, it's been crazy.
That's right. You did go camping again.
To be fair, the first time I went camping, that was planned for.
Yes. So we got a 2-for-1 here.
Yeah, we got a twofer. Absolutely.
Speaking of which, I was actually just going through the charts to see where we are currently. You guys, you want to stay to see where we are, because we were, I'd say, at the top 20 for a very long time.
Oh yeah, I mean, we made it as high as number 2, I think, at one point, right?
We were neck to neck with
Mind Pump.
So currently, let me guess where we are. Probably we're down.
Say top 30.
We're number 40. That's the lowest we've ever been.
Okay,
we're still top 50.
Yeah. So, and that's okay. Like that would be like us looking at that number, or that would be like you guys looking at the number on the scale when you haven't been putting forth the full effort and monitoring it consistently and growing and making that progress towards that, and then getting upset about it, right? We can't get upset about it. We're not.
No, I'm actually not upset about that. I'm like, okay, top 40, that's not bad.
Fuck no.
But I didn't expect it to be top 10. And that's okay, because we're 3 years in and we've been top 10, 20 for consistently.
Most of that time.
I think this is probably the first time we've been this inconsistent with continuously recording every week without having to.
Well, and this past year, we kind of haven't done as many guests either, right? We've been just focusing more on just us talking, and we love guests. We love having our friends on and getting experts on here, but we also just love talking with each other. And I think that's too is a recurring theme that we hear from our friends. Like, I won't even call them our listeners or our followers. Like, they're friends. They're our community. This is our fucking community. And we have a really strong, amazing community that rides these waves with us. The people right now, we're not reaching as many new people, but our core audience is here, our community that we fucking ride or die with. And that's what matters, right? Like, this community. In any support in any journey that we have, especially a health and wellness journey. We talked about that in the wrap-up call yesterday too on the challenges. Support, community, right? Significant others. Maybe we don't have that at home. That's where these communities that Beth and I have built separately and together, and then working with coaches that have strong communities and stuff too. That's really where that stuff kind of thrives.
Yeah.
Community is so important. There's so much evidence behind that too, the community aspect.
Oh yeah.
We know when somebody feels supportive and they have a support system and everything, they're more successful.
Yeah.
That's a little side thing.
Oh
yeah. Anyway, we do appreciate everybody still being along for this ride with us. The good, the bad, and the ugly with us, and kind of learning and pivoting as we go. So
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I got construction workers right out.
Oh, okay. Well, it's time to wrap.
They're back. Yeah. I was like, they're near the window here now. Okay, cool. They've been at the front of the house. We're getting new windows in the front. So they're taking all the shingles over there. That's why I'm not downstairs in the basement.
This old house.
We would have been like, boom, boom. Yeah. It is a very old 1940s, and it has had no work since then. So
got it.
It's throbbing. Literally.
All right,
everyone.
Nerdle. Yes.
Thanks for listening.
We'll chat with you later. Thanks for listening, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Hope you enjoyed this episode, so why not share with a friend who needs to hear it? Send us a DM on Instagram or email us at cutthecrappod@gmail.com and join our Patreon at patreon.com/cutthecrappodcast. As always, we appreciate you and thanks for being here.